You've probably been told that one of the best things you can do after 60 is to stay active. Move more. Join a senior-friendly exercise class. Walk every day. And while that's true, there's something nobody warned you about. One of the most commonly recommended exercises for older adults might be the very reason your knees hurt more now than they did 5 years ago. Yes, really. It's called low impact. It's called gentle. And it's included in routines made just for people over 60. But when done the wrong way, and it often is, it starts to quietly wear down the knees. Not with a sudden injury, but with tiny bits of damage that add up over weeks and months. By the time the pain becomes obvious, the damage is already there. Let's talk about your knees for a moment. Unlike your hip, which is strong and built for rotation, the knee works more like a door hinge. It's meant to bend and straighten, and that's pretty much it. But your knees are also carrying your full body weight with every step, every time you get up from a chair, every time you go downstairs. That's a lot of work for a joint that wasn't designed to twist, absorb sideways force, or handle uneven pressure. There's a common move often done in seated workouts or easy fitness routines. You sit in a chair, lift one leg straight out in front, then lower it again. Sometimes there are ankle weights, sometimes just your own leg. The goal is usually to strengthen the front of your thigh. But here's the problem. This move presses the back of your kneecap against your upper leg bone over and over, especially if your hips or core muscles aren't strong enough to support the motion properly. That creates pressure where it shouldn't be. And most people don't feel the damage right away. At first, it's just a bit of stiffness after a walk. Then maybe you hear a popping sound when you get up. One day, your knees start aching even when you haven't done much. You assume it's just old age, maybe arthritis. But what's really happening is that small, repeated stress has quietly worn down the cushioning inside your knee. Pain isn't always a sign that something new is wrong. Sometimes, it's the last warning sign from something that started long ago. And when the movement causing it is labeled safe, most people never suspect it. That needs to change. You've probably seen it in nearly every senior-friendly workout program, either at the community center, on YouTube, or even from a handout at your doctor's office. It's a seated exercise that looks harmless. You sit tall in a sturdy chair, straighten one leg forward, hold for a second, then lower it. Then you switch legs, repeat 10 times each side. Maybe add ankle weights later. Sounds familiar? It's called a seated leg extension, and it's been recommended to older adults for decades. The idea behind it isn't bad. It's meant to strengthen the big muscles at the front of your thighs, the ones that help you get up from a chair, walk, and climb stairs. These muscles are important, especially as we age. But how you strengthen them matters more than most people realize. When you lift your leg in that seated position, your thigh is fixed in place while your lower leg swings out. That puts your kneecap in a slightly tilted angle, pressing it backward against your thigh bone. This causes a grinding effect. Not a sharp pain, but more like slow rubbing. Over time, that constant rubbing starts to wear down the protective padding inside your knee. What makes this worse is that most older adults already have some level of muscle imbalance. Your hips might be weaker than your thighs. Your inner and outer thigh muscles might not be evenly matched. Your core may not be strong enough to keep your back and pelvis stable while you move. And when the rest of the body doesn't help out, your knees are left to do all the work. Even if you don't feel it right away, the signs eventually show up. Swelling after walking, soreness when standing up, or pain when going downstairs. You might start avoiding movement altogether, thinking you're making things worse. But it wasn't the walking that did it. It was how you were strengthening your knees in the first place. Many seniors think that seated exercises are automatically safer because they're done in a chair. But sitting doesn't always mean stability. When you're seated, your hips aren't fully engaged. Your back might slouch. And without good posture, the force from even a small leg movement goes straight to the joint. Add repetition, and that gentle exercise starts to act more like slow sandpaper. It's like using the wrong tool for the job. You wouldn't use a screwdriver to hammer a nail, even if it sort of works. In the same way, we shouldn't use isolated leg lifts to build functional strength. Real-life movement, like standing, walking, climbing, requires the whole body to work together. Your knees aren't meant to work alone. When they do, they suffer. So if seated leg extensions are off the table, what should you be doing instead? The good news is that your knees actually want to move, just in a way that shares the load with the rest of your body. The best movements are the ones that teach your hips, thighs, and core to work together so that your knees don't have to carry all the pressure alone. Let's start with something simple. The sit to stand. It's exactly what it sounds like, standing up from a chair without using your hands. This movement mimics real life. You use it every day, whether you're getting up from the dinner table or rising from the couch. But when done with awareness, it becomes one of the best knee-strengthening exercises you can do. Why? Because it activates not just your thighs, but also your hips and your core. It trains your muscles to work as a team. Another great movement is the supported squat. That might sound intimidating, but it doesn't have to be. You can hold onto the back of a sturdy chair or countertop, then slowly bend your knees just a little, no deeper than you're comfortable. Keep your weight in your heels, not your toes. This teaches your body how to lower and lift using the big muscles in your legs, without forcing your knees to do all the lifting. Walking itself is a powerful option, as long as it's done with good posture and proper shoes. Add gentle uphill walking, and you'll start engaging the muscles in the back of your legs, which are often ignored in seated exercises. These muscles play a huge role in stabilizing your knees during everyday tasks like climbing stairs or getting into a car. And don't forget the role of balance. Simple exercises like standing on one foot near a wall can improve how your body distributes weight, helping prevent falls, and teaching your legs to adjust together rather than one joint doing all the work. Balance isn't just about not falling, it's about joint cooperation. Another overlooked tool? Resistance bands. These stretchy bands offer gentle resistance without putting weight on your joints. You can loop one around your thighs and practice opening and closing your legs slightly while seated or lying down. This helps activate the smaller stabilizing muscles that protect your knees from side-to-side wobble. It's a safe, low-pressure way to build support without grinding your joints. And always remember, it's not about how fast or how hard you go. It's about consistency, control, and listening to your body. Small, regular movements done with good form will always beat intense exercises done with poor alignment. Your knees don't need punishment, they need partnership. Switching to safer exercises is a powerful first step, but even the right movements can backfire if done the wrong way. Many older adults make small mistakes without realizing, and those mistakes slowly undo the progress they're hoping for. That's why understanding the how is just as important as the what. One of the biggest issues is speed. Seniors often think they need to work hard or feel the burn to get results, so they move too quickly. But fast movements put momentum in charge, not your muscles. That means instead of strengthening your legs with control, you're letting gravity and momentum yank your body into position. Your joints absorb the shock, not your muscles. And for aging knees, that shock adds up. Another common mistake is holding your breath. It seems small, but when you hold your breath during a movement, especially when standing up or squatting, it increases pressure inside your body and creates tension in places that should be relaxed. This throws off your balance and can make your movements jerky or unsteady, putting more stress on the knees. Posture is another silent saboteur. If your back is rounded, your shoulders are hunched, or your weight leans too far forward or backward, even a good exercise becomes risky. Proper posture isn't about looking perfect. It's about making sure your muscles line up in a way that shares the work evenly. When posture is off, your knees become the fallback. They try to do what your hips, back, or ankles were supposed to handle. Foot position also matters more than people think. Turning your toes outward or letting your knees cave inward can send force through the joint in a twisted direction. Over time, this wears down the soft tissue and strains the ligaments. Always try to keep your toes and knees pointing the same direction, like headlights on a car, aligned and facing forward. And finally, doing too much too soon. When you feel a bit better, it's tempting to double your reps or add extra weight right away. But your joints need time to adapt. Jumping ahead too fast often leads to setbacks, pain, swelling, even minor injuries that could have been avoided. Also, don't fall into the trap of comparing yourself to others. In a group class or watching videos online, it's easy to feel like you should be moving faster, deeper, or with more intensity. But no two bodies age the same way. The neighbor who walks an hour every morning might have different knees, different history, and different challenges than you. Listen to your body, not someone else's pace. Doing an exercise slower or with smaller range doesn't mean it's less effective. In fact, it often means you're doing it better. By now, you've learned that not all exercise is good exercise, especially when it comes to aging knees. Certain movements, even ones labeled senior-friendly, can do more harm than good if they overload or twist the joint in unnatural ways. But you've also seen that there are better options, safe, simple movements that work with your body instead of against it. Here's a sample weekly routine that many of my senior patients use successfully. On day 1, begin with sit-to-stand exercises followed by supported squats. Aim for 2 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions, moving slowly and keeping your knees behind your toes. On day 2, take a gentle walk for 10 to 15 minutes. Choose a flat, safe path, wear supportive shoes, and focus on upright posture. On day 3, use a resistance band to strengthen the smaller muscles around your knees. While seated or lying down, loop the band around your thighs and slowly open and close your legs. On day 4, practice balance near a wall or sturdy chair. Stand on one foot for 10 to 15 seconds, then switch sides. Repeat a few times per leg. On day 5, repeat the routine from day 1, sit to stand and supported squats. On day 6, take a rest day, or do some light stretching. On day 7, combine a short walk with balance work. Even 5 minutes of each can make a real difference over time. And remember, no one expects perfection. Not every day will feel good. Some mornings you'll be stiff or tired or simply not in the mood. That's okay. What matters is that you come back, that you move again, that you remind your knees and yourself that you haven't given up. The body responds to kindness and consistency more than anything else. Even 5 minutes of the right movement is better than none at all. You're not starting from zero. You're starting from experience. Think of your body like a garden. It doesn't bloom overnight. It needs daily care, sunlight, water, and time. Your knees are no different. With the right attention, even old joints can surprise you with how much strength they still hold. You're not fragile. You're adapting.